welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do a little Q&A video with you guys and give you guys the chance to get to know me better. So I'm going to do my best to answer all of your questions from both Instagram and YouTube. It's been such a long time since I did my last Q&A video. So much has changed in my life. I have so much to update you guys with, and I know you guys had a lot of questions, so hopefully in this video I'm able to answer them and you guys can get to know me a little better. So I'm just going to read the questions off my phone and answer the best I can from the top of my head. But before we get started, I want to answer a few basic questions. So my name's Jessica Giselle. I am 34 years old. I'm a Virgo/Libra. My birthday is September 21st, 1985. So I'm right at the cusp. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, and as far as my ethnicity, I'm of Mexican descent. I took the 23andMe test recently, and I'll show you guys the results. So it says that I'm 33.9% Native American, 31.8% Spanish Portuguese, and I guess my family migrated to Jalisco, Guadalajara, and Zacatecas. And then another question I wanted to answer is, how old is my son? My son is going to be 5 years old in June. He's a Cancer baby. So sweet, sensitive, dramatic, all of that. And he will be starting kindergarten this year. So now that we got all of those basic questions out of the way, I'm gonna read the rest of the questions. So first question is, what is your favorite food? I love sushi. I absolutely love sushi. I could eat it almost every day. But I also love Italian food, Mexican, and Middle Eastern food. That's pretty much all I eat. At what age did you start makeup and how did you learn? So I've always loved makeup for as far back as I can remember, but I really started wearing makeup in high school. But I didn't go straight into makeup. I ended up going to college and putting makeup to the side. But when I was working for my first company in the corporate world, I started doing makeup on the side and I really, really loved it. And then I started networking, meeting people, and working. It wasn't until 2009 that I actually started working in the industry with models and artists. So yeah, I've been doing it since then. And I did take some makeup courses at T&T Agency. They worked a lot with the Latino industry, so I got to work some amazing jobs with some amazing artists, and I got like a lot of exposure. I learned a lot from it. From there, I think I just started networking on my own, and here I am today. How did YouTube become your thing, and how do you stay motivated to continue to make videos while you're a single great mother to your bundle of joy? When I had Ashton, I was automatically a single mom, so I was no longer able to hustle the same with makeup and, go from job to job the way I was doing it in the past. So I decided to start a day in the life vlog in hopes to grow my channel and hoping that it would bring in supplemental income, and at the same time I'd be able to document all these special moments with Ashton. So up until today, I still really enjoy it. I love documenting all the special moments with my son, and I'm fortunate enough now to be able to make some money while doing that. How did you become a successful YouTuber, and do you have any advice for anyone who wants to be one? The first time I created a video on YouTube, it did terrible. It got no views. I was embarrassed. I was a little disappointed that I put so much work into this video and nobody saw it. So my best advice to anyone starting a YouTube channel is try to put out content that you love and enjoy and just be consistent with it, and you will see your channel grow. And also, don't try to be a perfectionist. That could really hold you back from putting out content more often. I should actually be taking my own advice, and I'm still working on my channel, and I'm still working on finding time to make the videos and editing. I don't have an editor. I do the editing myself. I did recently find someone who is pretty good, so he's helping me a little, but it's a lot of work. So you got to be ready to put in the time and the work and be consistent. How do I balance mom life, work life, and everything else? I honestly don't think there's ever a real balance. I think as mothers, we're always striving for that, but it's really, really hard. I think what's important is to choose your priorities. You can't say yes to everything. You can't overcommit yourself. You really have to choose what's important, what you want to invest your time in. I think what's really helped me is to plan out and schedule everything. That goes for birthdays. I buy gifts in advance. For any holidays, I'm buying, clothing in advance, scheduling photo shoots in advance, everything in advance. And I can honestly thank my best friend Sarah for instilling these good qualities in me. I was always a planner and an organizer. I mean, I'm a Virgo, but she's really helped me do a better job at it. So another thing I try to do is focus on my son's feelings, and I try to make them a priority. So no matter what I have going on in life, Ashton is the most important thing to me. So I always want him to feel special. I always want to make sure I spend quality time with him and make sure he knows he's loved. So I always try to plan everything else around him, with him being my priority, if that makes sense. Another thing that helps me is having a support group, having my family. It takes a village to raise a child, so me living with them at the moment is beyond helpful. And I know a lot of people can look at me and say, oh my God, how do you live with your parents still? When you're a single mom, and if you're ever a single mom and you have a kid, you will see what it's like. I don't have his dad here. His dad lives in a different state, so they're the ones to help me. But good news is Ashton and I will be moving out soon, definitely in the next few months, very soon. So we will be living near my family though, because like I said, I need their help. How long would you wait to introduce your son to a guy or a boyfriend? I think it takes at least 6 months to actually get to know someone. You don't want to introduce your child to someone sooner and then have to explain to them why they're no longer around. I personally would love to wait till I'm engaged, but I know that sounds impractical, so I'd say at least 6 months, or till you feel that you're like in a solid, stable relationship. I definitely won't be introducing Ashton to anyone until after 6 months. Luckily, I'm fortunate to have a good support system. So if I want to go on dates or go anywhere, I have my family to help me, and whoever I'm with doesn't need to worry about my child. My parents are always there and they're very helpful. So I am able to go on dates without a problem, without having to worry about a sitter. Ashton has his grandparents and he's in good hands. He's in no better hands than in his grandparents. So the next question's dating while being a single mom. So my best advice with that is don't do it unless you're ready, unless you are fully healed from your past breakup, unless whatever you're doing is coming from like self-love and you and your child or children are like in a good place to take that next step. As far as dating with me, I feel like anyone who wants to date me knows that I have a child off the bat. Nowadays, everyone goes to your social media, checks it out. So if you go to my social media, you see a lot of Ashton. So everyone knows off the bat that I have a child. I never really have to wait for the right time to tell them. And I feel like in my case, most guys love that I'm a mom. They actually have no problem with it. So as far as dating with me, one of the things that I face is mom guilt. It's really hard for me to leave Ashton for like multiple days or often. When you're dating someone, they need a lot of your attention and it's really hard to split the two. My best advice is don't have mom guilt. It's important for you to have an adult life and date and find the person that is going to make you happy. Our children make us happy. We love them to death, but that's also important. So I try to tune out any mom guilt. I shouldn't feel guilty for wanting to have an adult life and for wanting to find the love of my life. So I think as long as I schedule fun activities and make my son a priority and make him feel important, everything works out. So far, It hasn't been an issue. Ashton is barely 4 years old. He is a little jealous. So sometimes when I'm getting ready at night, Ashton will start asking me questions like, where are you going? Are you going somewhere? Why are you getting ready? Is it somebody's birthday? And if I say like no, he'll say, well, you can only go out if it's somebody's birthday. If it's not somebody's birthday, then you can't go out. And or else he'll even say like, Mom, I can't wait to just lay and cuddle with you and like watch a movie, because he knows I'm not going to be here. It's nighttime. He's just manipulative and sneaky. He's such a sneaky butt. But it plays with my feelings, you know. I don't want to ever make him feel like I don't want to be with him. But it's important for me to find time to go out there and meet someone. So as far as my dating life, one thing I do off the bat is screen and do a background check on any potential partners. I've had a really bad experience, and moving forward, that will never happen. So that's really important to me. I feel like anyone I date knows off the bat that I have a child, and so far, everyone has been accepting of it and loves that I'm a mom. Nowadays with social media, you know, anyone can just go to your page and see that you have a child if you post your child, and I do. So there's really no hiding that or having to wait to talk about the fact that I have a child. What do you do for your mental health? So I always try to set time out of the day for myself. Usually that's me going to work out for an hour, or if I don't get to work out that day, it's me taking a nice hot bath, meditating, even just getting to talk to my girlfriend on the phone for like an hour and just chit-chatting. That helps me, like venting, talking to a friend. Sometimes I even have to force myself to just get up, get dressed, and like go out with my girlfriends and have a nice fun night. How did you meet your son's father? So I met Ashton's dad back in like 2009, I think it was. I met him at a charity event in Beverly Hills. I went with my girlfriend at the time. Her boyfriend had a table there, and he happened to know Spencer, Ashton's dad, and said, hey, you need to meet that guy. He wants to meet you. So I look over and see this white boy, and at the time I was not into white boys. But anyways, we ended up going, a group of us, to a club, and I got to meet him. He asked for my number, and then I think he invited me like on a trip or something, because he doesn't live here, he lived in Houston. So I think I met him like in Vegas, and after that Vegas trip we were pretty much inseparable. So yeah, that's how we met. After time apart, personal growth, and maturity, do you ever see yourself getting back with Ashton's dad? Do you ever miss Ashton's dad? Do you still love Ashton's dad? I don't think you ever stop caring for the father of your child. At the end of the day, they are like family to you. So, you know, I'll always care about Ashton's dad. I'll always hold him dear to my heart. You know, he's always going to be special to me. He gave me Ashton. It's like the best gift ever. Ashton's dad and I are going to know each other for the next 18 years, no matter what. We have a son together. But I have no interest in ever being with Ashton's dad. I'm no longer in love with him. I'm completely moved on, and I believe he is too. Does Ashton's dad spend time with him? No, he hasn't spent any time with him. He actually hasn't seen him. It's going on almost 2 years. The last time he ever seen him was for his 3rd birthday. It was June of 2018. But I'm hoping for a turnaround, and I'm hoping 2020 he can be more involved. I'm always leaving the door open for him. I know that Ashton's dad is never around. Did he remarry and have more kids? So he did get married, but he also got divorced. And while they were married, she never had a baby. The wife and I did not get along since day one. So that was that. Honestly, I've wondered if the wife factored into him not seeing his son. If maybe the wife at the time, ex-wife now, had certain insecurities about me, or, you know, just felt jealous. I don't know. I'll never know. I'll never understand. But moving forward, I hope that Ashton's father can meet a woman and marry a woman that I can actually get along with, and a woman that is just confident and supportive of him having an actual relationship with his son. Whatever happened to the ex that stole from you and his friend who set you up with him? I'm sure that I'll have some updates for you guys regarding the scammer soon, but that's all that I can say right now. And as far as the friend who set me up with him, I don't speak to him anymore, but I do have to work with him, so I just try to keep it cordial and speak to him when I have to, which is hardly ever. What have you learned about yourself after being scammed by your boyfriend? I've learned to always listen and trust my gut because it never lies. I've also learned to don't ever let bad people change who you are. Despite meeting this terrible, horrible person, I've continued to have an open heart because I do want to find true love one day. How many more kids do you want? So my dream would be to have 2 more. I'd love to have a girl. I really, really want a girl one day. And I'd still love to have 1 more boy because boys are amazing. But I feel like my next kid would be a boy. I don't know why. As much as I want a girl, I don't picture myself being a girl mom. Like, I'm a boy mom. But we'll see. We'll see what the future has planned out for me. Are you happy right now? I think right now, especially at this point in my life, I am so happy. I'm so at peace. Everything's aligned, thank God. But I also think that throughout this time being single, I've learned to develop like a healthy relationship with myself, and my happiness is not attached to anyone else. Like, I learned how to make myself happy. I'm able to stay home so happy watching TV with my candles lit, having a glass of wine, and not worrying about what the rest of the world is doing, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's me getting older and more mature, but I feel very happy. Are you in a relationship or single? I've been single for 5 years now. I did have 1 boyfriend who was the scammer boyfriend, so he doesn't count. That was trash. But throughout this time, I have been dating. I just haven't been exclusive with anyone. I just feel like I haven't met the one yet. Me being picky, but I'm in no rush, to be honest. Do you think dating life changed when you became a mom? I think dating life has changed so much for me. I now have serious limits on like how much time and energy I'll devote into someone. So it has to be someone that I really like. I also have higher standards than I did back in my 20s. So it's a lot harder to find someone. At the end of the day, I have a son, so it's really important that I'm careful who I bring around him. I can't take him around anyone. It's so easy to get swept away in a relationship, but you know, Ashton remains my main priority, and I refuse to like loosen the grip on that and compromise his emotional like stability just for my own selfish needs. So I have to make sure that I'm very careful who I let into my life, because whoever I let into my life is going to be a part of Ashton's life, and that's what's most important for me now. So how was your last relationship? My last relationship was terrible. Obviously the guy was a scammer, so that says it all. Now that Ashton's getting older, do you plan on finding someone to be with, or do you enjoy being a single mom? I definitely plan on finding someone sooner than later. So 2020, I'm making it one of my goals to put myself out there more, get out more, and start dating so that I can hopefully meet someone. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Definitely married, 2 more kids, owning my own business, owning a house, and traveling a lot more. That's exactly where I see myself, and I'm definitely gonna manifest all of it. How is your relationship with your baby daddy? We don't really have a relationship, but I'm hoping that with time we can eventually build one for our son Ashton. It's hard being a single mom. Do you get more support from your child's father and his side of the family, and when? Ashton's grandparents are amazing. They're very loving and supportive, and they have been there for me and Ashton. How do you make ends meet as a single parent, and was it a struggle in the beginning? I've always had an established career. Prior to getting pregnant, I had an online clothing company that was doing pretty well, and I was already an established makeup artist. So luckily, I was already blessed to have an established career prior to getting pregnant. But I do have to say, you know, it was still a struggle adapting to all the changes of motherhood and, you know, just my schedule and everything. It was a struggle, and all I can say is have faith always that things are going to work out. You will face a lot of different road bumps, but you just have to push through and get through. You know, when I had Ashton, it was definitely a struggle to, you know, hustle with makeup the same way that I did, and just to move around from client to client. Things changed, and it was definitely a struggle and a lot of adapting, but at the end of the day, it all works out. How did you meet your best friend, Sarah Stage? So Sarah and I always knew of each other. We had several mutual friends, but it wasn't until we both found out that we were pregnant and shared with each other that we actually started bonding. And then, you know, our kids were only 4 months apart, so immediately we had so much in common. We bonded, and like since our boys are 4 months apart, we're like all best friends. We kind of became like family now, to be honest, because our kids have grown up with each other, so we've become like family. How do you stay motivated as a single mom? I think at the end of the day, Ashton is my motivation. He helps me to just want to be the best version of. So I try to stay organized and schedule everything. I even schedule, you know, my workouts and my meals. As far as my workouts, I treat them like a job. So I put them on my actual calendar, you know, in a time slot, and I set an alarm, everything, so that I don't miss my workout. And I personally have a trainer, so it really helps to like have that meeting with someone, to have to meet someone and, you know, not feel guilty canceling on them. So I know trainers can be a bit pricey, but if you can afford a trainer, that is always the way to go. It holds you more accountable so that you don't miss your workouts. Same thing with my meals. I have like a little note in my notepad where I just like plan out my meals for the week. So when I go to the grocery store on Sunday, I know exactly what I need to buy and what I'm gonna eat that week. And it just prevents me from eating out, eating junk food, and it helps me stay just healthy and fit. Next question is, can you give tips on staying in shape and looking well done at all times? And tips on staying focused no matter the circumstances. So one tip I can give you guys that's really helped me is, you know, my son goes to school every day. So I wake up about 30 minutes before actually waking him up. And I'll usually, you know, take a shower, body shower, get ready real quick, even if it's just me doing my skincare, putting a little tinted moisturizer, fixing my hair. By the time I wake him up, I'm ready to go for the day. It just helps me feel good, and I feel just ready to take on the day. As far as staying focused no matter the circumstances, I think it's okay to have a bad day. I think everyone has a bad day, and you need to give... What, Ashton?
Yeah.
Come here. Come here. Ashton just came in and interrupted. Come here. What do you want to come tell mommy?
I want to tell you something first. So, me and Dad were actually watching a movie. I want to watch another one with you.
You want to stay up late and watch another movie with me?
Yeah. Both of you die. Both of you die.
Nice try, buddy. You have school tomorrow. It is your bedtime.
Both of you dies. Both of you dies.
Hey, say hi to everyone.
Hi.
Say hi, everyone. Everyone wants you to tell them a little bit about yourself.
No.
Okay, tell them your name.
Aston.
That's your name?
Yeah.
What's your whole name?
Aston Sunrise.
How old are you?
4.
What grade are you in? Preschool.
Little.
What's your favorite colors?
Black, white, and brown.
What's your dog's name?
Louis and Nico.
Yeah, you have 2 dogs, Louis and Nico. What is what's your favorite thing to do?
Play.
Play? Play. Okay, go over there. It's time for bed.
Oh.
I'll get back to the question in a sec. I think if you're having a bad day, it's okay to have bad days. Sometimes you just need to take a day off. It's all part of self-care. You need to give yourself that time to get through it. I think the most important thing is to just try not to sit in that bad day for so long and in that bad energy for so long. And just try to focus on the future, focus on more positive things. And I think that just really helps me to get through any bad times or hard times. How did you get to work with Chris Brown? So I used to have a friend who used to date Chris Brown's old manager, Mike G, who is a dear friend of mine. So Mike put me on to one of Chris's music videos to do all of the background dancers' makeup. And I guess I did a really good job that day. I brought in a team of girls. We did all their hair and makeup. So then maybe 2 weeks later, I got called to do makeup for another Chris Brown video, but this time Chris's team told me that I was only going to be doing Chris's makeup and that no one else was to touch him. So ever since that second video that I worked on with Chris, which was back in 2014, I've worked on every single project with Chris, from music videos to magazine shoots to fashion shows, anything he has ever been a part of, I've been his makeup artist. So I am very grateful for that friend of mine who introduced me to Mike G, and I'm even more grateful for Mike G for, putting me on and introducing me to Chris Brown and his team. Do you plan on doing any meet and greets in the future? I would love to do a meet and greet. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comment section where you think I should have my first meet and greet. What surgeries have you had? What body enhancements have you had? So when I was 21 years old, I got my breast done. I had a breast augmentation and I had saline implants. I had that for a good 10 years and I never touched my body. When I was about 27, I got my lips filled maybe 2 to 3 times. And then, I don't know, it just kind of went away and I got over it. And then I'd have to say every 3 to 4 months, I get Botox. I've been doing that for the last 5 years as a preventative step. And then this year for 2020, it was my goal, 2019, I guess, it was my goal to do a little mommy makeover. I wasn't trying to change my look. There was just a lot of things since having Ashton that I wanted to fix. I dedicated myself to 9 months of breastfeeding and it really affected my boobs. Nobody told me that was going to happen to my boobs. My boobs just got really saggy. You could see ripples on the implant. They were just a mess. It was time to switch out my implants. So I had to make the decision of whether I wanted to keep implants or remove them completely and then just do a little mini lift. I decided to keep my implants, so I switched my implants out from saline to silicone and I got a scarless breast lift so I don't have that lollipop scar. And then another thing I did was I had a deviated septum, so my breathing was really off when I was working out. I was getting really tired and I just couldn't breathe right. So my doctor, same doctor who did my boobs, he suggested that I fix my deviated septum. So we did that, and while I had him fix my breathing, since I was already going to be under, I had him remove, I had a little hump here on both sides. This used to be my bad angle. I was always able to take pictures from this side, but this side was big old lump. So I ended up fixing my deviated septum and going under open rhinoplasty. So another thing I did at the end of December, I decided to fill my lips a little. I hadn't actually filled my lips in over 6 years. So one of my lips was starting to look a little droopy and just needed more volume. I mean, I am 34, you guys. I'm getting older. And I am so happy with my decision to do them. I don't know what you guys think of them, but I'm very happy with them. That day that I went in to fill my lips, I also had her fill my smile lines. So we filled my smile lines a little. That lasts up to a year, so I won't have to do my lips or my smile lines for a really long time. And I think they both made a difference in my face, and I'm happy with them. Yeah. Oh yeah, and one more thing. Back then when I used to do my lips, I had a doctor fill this little dent I had on my cheek. So they're like genetic. My mom has them too. I don't know if they're from like smiling, but I would get like a little dent. So anyways, I had it filled. My body rejected it, and the product went like all around the dent, and it looked worse. The dent was more prominent. It was terrible. I cried. I tried to have it dissolved, but what happened is my body created scar tissue, and it created like a slice. So this December I also worked on getting my cheek fixed, and I'm still like in a process of fixing it, but my best recommendation to you guys is don't really mess with your face unless you have to. So that pretty much sums up everything I've ever done. So for those of you asking if I do my cheeks or if I fix my jawline or my chin, I'm half Native American, so I think it's all just genetic. Where are your favorite places you have traveled to, and what places, things to do are still on your bucket list? I loved Barcelona and I loved Paris. I honestly haven't had the chance to travel the world as much as I'd like to. In my early 20s, I was always in college and I always had a full-time job. And there was only a small gap from where I graduated from grad school to where I had Ashton. And during that time, I was like going out in LA, having fun, dating. I was also dating Ashton's dad at that time. And I was working a lot, so I wasn't really focused on traveling as much. And then, you know, the last 5 years, I've been a mom to Ashton, and it's really hard to leave him for so long. But now that he's almost 5 years old, it will be easier to go on a longer vacation with or without him. He's just at like a much easier age. So I do plan to travel a lot more. And as far as my bucket list, oh my god, there's so many places I want to travel to still. I definitely want to travel all throughout Europe some more. I've only been to like Paris and like Barcelona. And as far as my bucket list, oh my god, there's so many places I want to travel to. I want to travel more of Europe. I want to go to the Maldives. I want to go to Bali, Dubai. The list goes on. And I know that I will get the chance to go to those places in the near future. I'm planning a few trips this year alone, so that's exciting. What puts you in the best mood? Working out. Working out is like my therapy. It always puts me in a good mood and makes me feel good about myself. Shopping. Shopping is always the best therapy. And also just like relaxing at home with a glass of wine, lighting candles, and just watching TV. Like that just puts me in such a good mood. I feel so relaxed. Where do you shop for your son? I love shopping at H&M, Old Navy, Cotton On. Those are probably my 3 favorite stores. And then I also love getting him any luxury designer clothes from an online clothing store called Child's Play. They also have a store in London. Where do you shop for your son? So I love shopping online mostly at H&M, Old Navy, Cotton On, and Nordstrom Rack. And then I also love an online clothing store called Child's Play. They carry a lot of like designer clothes for kids. So if I ever get anything designer, I can always find a matching for him on there. But yeah, those are pretty much the only stores I shop at. What do you like and not like about your job? So I don't like that my job is unstable, both financially and schedule-wise. You know, I never know how much I'm gonna make in a month, and that goes for both makeup and social media. And then as far as schedule, like, I never know how busy I'm gonna be in a week or not. Sometimes with like makeup, I'll get a message from a client and they'll say, hey, we're leaving to Paris in 3 days, and I just gotta figure it all out and make it work, or else I could lose that client. So that part of it kind of sucks, but there are also a lot of pros to it. I mean, the money is really good, both in social media and doing makeup. And then you also get to meet so many amazing people. You get to network a lot. And with makeup, not only do you get to meet a lot of cool people and work in a lot of cool environments, but you also get the opportunity to make people feel good about themselves. And that is everything to me. What is your favorite drugstore product? I think two of my favorite drugstore products are the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara. I love using it on my underlashes. And then I also love the Revlon. It's the lip liner. It's Color Stay, and it's in the color Chocolate. What is your favorite Chris Brown song? It is so hard to choose because he has so many amazing songs. He's so talented. I truly am a big fan of him. You know, even though I work for him, I'm still a fan of his. And I love his music. But if I had to choose, one of my recent favorite songs is the Chris Brown and Drake No Guidance. I love that song. I can put it on replay all day. Yeah. But wait, I love that song. I can put it on replay all day, every day. But wait until you guys hear his new album. It is amazing. You're gonna love every song on it. If you could move anywhere in the world, where would it be? I love LA way too much. I don't think I could live anywhere else. Do I like my new nose? So far, I'm really loving my nose. Every day it gets better and better, and it's starting to grow on me. The first like 2 to 3 weeks, I was freaking out because your nose just looks so different. Like, you can't see the results yet. It's swollen, like the tip of your nose is huge. It's just terrible. But little by little, the swelling goes down and it's getting better. I'm only at 6 weeks right now, but they say it takes up to a year to see the final results. So far, I am so happy. My doctor's amazing. The recovery and the healing was so easy. So I'd highly recommend him. His name is Dr. J Plastic Surgery in Beverly Hills. How much did you pay for your breast implants, and how much did you pay for your rhinoplasty? So my doctor's prices for breast implants start at $15,000, and then for rhinoplasty, his prices start anywhere from like $12,000 to $15,000. In LA, that's pretty much what the rates are. I'm pretty sure you can get it cheaper, you know, in other parts of the world, but out here, it's pretty much where it starts, about like $15,000. What are your future goals, your big plans? I can't think too far ahead because things change, but this year my goal is to buy my first property for me and Ashton to live in, and I also really hope to meet someone this year. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to like start that next chapter of my life. Do you live by yourself or with your parents? I currently live with my parents. This year the goal is to move out. I'm trying to get my first property. But yeah, we've been living with my parents. It's just made my life easier, and it's better for Ashton to have, you know, family around. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little more about me and about Ashton. If you guys are new to my channel, please make sure you subscribe. If you're already subscribed, thank you guys. And if you guys have any questions, comments, suggestions, leave them down below. I'm gonna do my best to answer everyone's questions today. Thanks guys.